Hey guys, CR Classics here, welcome back to another video. As you can see, this is a bit of a different one. There's two Teslas here instead of two Lotus Esprits, which you guys are used to seeing on this channel of late. I thought I'd make this video because it's quite a rare opportunity that these two cars are together. Obviously we've got a Tesla Model 3 long range that's a 2020 car, and we've got a Tesla Model Y on a 22 plate, which is on delivery mileage, and they're both going to be here for a very short amount of time together. And they're very much the hot topic of the car world at the moment. Obviously the Model 3, as a lot of you will know, has been sort of rising up through the ranks of popularity over the last few years, and has sold a lot of models, and is now one of the most popular cars out there, I believe. And is growing and growing every day, very much like Tesla, the brand. And the Model Y is seizing the massive hype of compact SUVs at the moment, based on the Model 3 platform. So this video is basically, like I say, seizing the opportunity of having both cars together on the same drive, and it's going to be a comparison. It's going to be the good and the bad about the two of them. Obviously we've had this one for a while now, so we tend to think we know it very well, or I do. And this one we're still learning, but there's a lot of similarities, but also a lot of big improvements on this car from that car. So I'm going to talk you through those today. I hope you enjoy the video. I know it's a bit different, but let's crack on. So guys, I think it's only right to start at what I consider to be the beginning, and the beginning is the Model 3. Because obviously it's the earlier of the two cars. This is a 2020 plate car. It's an early Model 3, as some of you eagle-eyed viewers may notice. Obviously it hasn't got the black door handles. There's a few little things here and there that the facelift, you could call it, that they've got out now has, and this does not have. So we got this just on the rise of the Model 3, but it's been a brilliant car. I think we've had it for 2 years now, and we've absolutely loved it. I think they look pretty great. It's in this colour, which was an optional extra, and I think it's, you know, a very good colour. I can't remember the exact name of the colour. I think it was about £1,000 the extra. It's on 18-inch wheels. It's got the AERO wheels, which obviously improve the range. So it's got these little sort of, what do you call them, like plastic shields around them, which helps improve airflow. You can opt to have 19-inch wheels on it for, I think, £1,000 or 1,100 quid or something like that. Which we didn't go for. One thing we did go for on this car, which you can probably see, is the upgraded interior. Now I believe on the earlier cars, if you upgraded the interior to the white interior, which this one's got, which I think was around 1,100 quid as well. Obviously you've got the white seats, you've got a slightly different dashboard, and I think on the early cars you got the upgraded sound system as well, but now that's standard, I think, on Model 3s. So it's got a 15-inch screen in the middle, and apart from that, it's a standard car. It's a long-range car, so it's the one where you get the most miles. It's not the standard motor car. It's the one in the middle. It's not the performance. It's the one in the middle, which is, I think, the most popular car. As you can see, it's in pretty good condition, to be fair, for the age of it. It's done a fair few miles, and it's been brilliant. So let's go through a few good and bad things about this car before we move on to the Model Y. So in my opinion, probably the biggest letdown that this car has, and they don't try to hide it, they know, is the boot space. And one thing as well, it doesn't have a powered tailgate, which is an interesting thing on a car of this sort of value with this much sort of electric and automotive tech in it, or automated tech in it. It doesn't have a powered tailgate, which is an interesting thing, which you'd look at if you're comparing it to a 3 Series or a C-Class Mercedes, or something like that. They'd have powered tailgates. But you look in here and, you know, it's a downside of having such a big what you call a panoramic sunroof that, you know, they want to seem like one piece that comes all the way back down. And, you know, as a hatchback, it's not great. There is some extra storage under here. Obviously, the batteries aren't back here, the batteries are down the middle. So you've got, you know, a good bit of extra storage in there. But, you know, that's one thing we've struggled with since we've had the car is, you know, it goes back quite a bit, but it's that you can't really get much in there. So that's not great. And the fact it's not a powered tailgate. That's not great. Another thing about these early cars, which was the main thing for me from day one, was the quality control. Now these early cars, I believe, especially these early Model 3s, I think were all made over in the States, so over in America, which, you know, I guess back then they couldn't really do much about. That's where the factories were. They hadn't built other factories over here in Europe or over here or over in China. So they had to make all the cars over there, which the upside is, you know, it's close to their HQ, and, you know, they're American cars, they're going to be built over in America. But the downside is the notorious American quality control when it comes to cars. On day one, see little white line there, that I believe is where the spraying machine, or the spraying robot you could call it, has missed an area, and that's the primer underneath there, I think, where it's just completely missed it. And there's a few little areas on the car that's like that, and that it's just, you know, slipped through their quality control, which, you know, the Americans have not got a great reputation for quality and for building cars and the quality of those cars when they roll out the factory, for good reason. But what I will say is their newer cars, the facelifted ones and so on, I believe are built in either China or in their factory over in Germany. I'm not sure where the Model 3s are built, but I know where the Model Ys are built, and we'll talk about that when we get to that car. So guys, the interior of this car, as you can probably see from that angle, I must say, it's lovely. It's a lovely, lovely place to be. These early cars were designed well, and they've carried it through right into that car, right into the other Teslas. They really nailed the interior. The one bad thing I'd say about it is, again, on these early cars, before this problem got solved, this sort of material in this center panel here is very, very easy to scratch. It's this gloss finish, and I believe on the later cars they went for a sort of matte finish, because this gloss finish is so easy to scratch, and obviously it's on this center panel, so there is where you want to put your phone, and you very easily scratch things, especially there, especially here, putting drinks and so on into it. There's a lot of storage under here, actually, believe it or not. So down there, if you look at my arm, it'll go right the way in there, and there's a fair amount of storage in here as well if you take that out. So there's a lot of storage. Obviously the main part is the big 15-inch iPad in the middle. This car's been factory reset because it's obviously going back in a few days and everything's been transferred over to the other one. But the tech that's in here really is brilliant, and anyone who gets a Model 3 or any Tesla, I guarantee will be blown away by the tech, because it's just bomb-proof, honestly. We've never had any issues with that screen whatsoever. You would think you'd be nervous if it broke, because obviously that's your lifeblood. If that goes, you can't see anything. You haven't got anything here. There's nothing anywhere else. That's it. But it's honestly the most bomb-proof system I've ever seen or worked with, so that's brilliant. This is the wheel on there and on this and on pretty much every other Tesla is pretty much the same, unless you go to the plaid cars, which have got their yoke steering wheel thing, like a Formula 1 car, or some form of racing car. So it's a lovely place to be in here, and obviously you've got that big panoramic roof as standard with all Model 3s. which is a big thumbs up, because I'm a big advocate for panoramic roofs. I think they change the interior of a car. And this white as well, obviously it's the Falx leather, so it's not actual leather, it's the fake leather they call it, which a lot of people are using now. So I think it looks brilliant, and it's well worth it as an option if you're umming and ahhing between some bigger wheels or this interior. I'd definitely go for the interior, because with this sunroof it's brilliant. So guys, the main part of this car that I think is a big selling point is the storage and the space that you get in this for the price that it is on top of that one. So let's have a look in here, and I think you'll see what I mean. Obviously a powered tailgate with this car, which they've realised you should get on a car like this, and the amount of tech that's in there. So if you look in here, it's a lot of space when you compare it to that car, and it's accessible, which is a biggie, which is a real biggie. Apologies for little things like this, we've only had the car a day or so, so we're still getting used to how everything works. So apologies if that looks a little bit awkward. Here, I believe this is the first time for me. There you go. So you've got electrically folding down seats, and if you look at the storage now, you've got a lot of it. Not sure if they fold back up. They do not. That would be very interesting if they did. Worth a try. So this is a bit of a demo for you guys. I'm still trying it out myself. But not only this, under there, as you can see, we've got this big bag, and that fits under there, no problem, and you don't even know it's there, which is crazy. So that's the boot and the storage back here. There's a lot of it, and down here. Look at that. That's crazy. So as far as practicality goes, I think this has got that one's number. Right guys, so as you can see in here, there's space. Like I was saying in the boots, we've moved forward a bit, and in here you've also got a lot of space. One of the best things about Teslas is there's no gearbox. Obviously it's an electric car, so you haven't got a big transmission tunnel going down here. So if you're sitting in the back, you've got all this leg room, which is a huge bonus. So you've got this space here, and there's nothing there, and the batteries are put in such a good way that you're not compromised like in other cars where your legs are up here, you know, or even on this seat your legs are up here. I've been in other electric cars where the whole car is compromised because it's an electric car, but this one is built from the ground up to do what it does, and you know, it works. The design works, and there's a lot of room in here. You've got USB inputs here to charge your phone. The seats are, honestly, one thing I can see is they've really pumped the seats up, not with the height of the car, but they've just put them almost on stilts, if you can see down there. So the driver's seat and the passenger seats, when you're in here, feel a lot higher than the rear passenger seats. That's just one thing I've noticed. Another thing, if I can close this, you'll see how tinted these windows are. I don't know if you can see me or not, but one thing I've noticed is how tinted these are when you compare it to the other car that doesn't have any tinted windows whatsoever. And tinted windows, I think, totally change a car. So that's a biggie for me, especially with white. It looks brilliant. So one thing that's a biggie for me, especially on SUVs, is wheels. Now these are on 19-inch wheels, which are standard for a Model Y. Obviously 18s are standard on that car, 19s they usually go up a bit on SUVs and compact SUVs. On this, there is an option for 20-inch wheels, which we did look at and seriously consider, but very unusually with Tesla, as I told you before, an interior upgrade's only 1,100 quid and you get a lot for that. That's a big upgrade with Tesla. And paint is what it is. It's about £800–900 depending on the paint you choose, up to £1,000. The upgraded 20-inch wheels on this are, I believe, £2,100, which in my eyes is a very, very big option for upgrading an inch. Yeah, they look a lot better, they're a lot darker, they go a lot better, especially with this colour, especially with the white. And yeah, they do change your car, but that's a big, big option for a car like this and a company like Tesla that doesn't have many options. So I think it's maybe a bit much. And that's why we've gone for these, which I still think look great, and you get more miles out of them. So it's a little bit savvy. And they're standard wheels, so they're free. They've got Hankook tyres all around, where those use Michelin's and Pilot Sports on the Model Ys. These are on Hankook, so that's a little fun one. With the wheels, a fun fact for you, maybe you didn't know they were that much for the upgrade, but there you go. So guys, stepping inside the Model Y, what do we see? So the main thing is, if you're looking around, you got the same steering wheel, you got the same controls, you got the two stalks, you got your drive select on the right, and you got your usual indicators and so on, washers on your left. As far as the screen goes, you got the same 15-inch screen, pretty much the same layout as the Model 3. The only difference is you got a different car. We think that Google Earth or Google Maps looks a bit better in this car. Don't know why that might be. It's the same plan to upgrade from a normal map that you get as standard in a Model 3 or a Model Y. It's just like Google Maps on your phone, where it's just a white screen with roads on it. You can upgrade to this for a monthly fee. It's not much, and honestly it's really, really worth it. But we think it looks a lot clearer on this. Everything looks very, very clear. So that's very interesting. And other options, differences. So what we've got in here are, put your phone there, wireless charging. I love that as a younger guy who's very techie. I love that. You can put two phones there and they both charge really, really well. It's not a fiddly thing whatsoever. Chuck your phone in there, it charges. Because of the type of car that it is, it charges pretty quickly as well, trust me. So that's a really cool thing, and it looks quite cool having two phones there or your phone there. So if you get a notification, you can see it and glance down, but it's all through here anyway. You've got everything through here. In here, as you can see, like I mentioned before, they've gone for a sort of satin finish on here instead of a gloss finish. We all know why that is, because it was scratchy otherwise. This has got a black interior, not a white one, so it's got the standard interior, which looks very nice with this sort of wood effect on there. And like I said, these newer cars come with the speakers. I think they're 14 speaker set in here. And in this, you've got a full length panoramic roof with no bar in the middle, with no roll bar. It's a full length roof. I don't know how they've got away with it, but it looks epic. And it's a lovely place to be, a lot higher up. As you can see, I'm looking down in the front, in these two front seats especially. You're very high up, and it looks really, 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 really nice from up here. Definitely worth upgrading. For the price that it is, for what you get and the height and everything, I think it's worth it, 100%. So guys, there you go. That's a brief sort of walk around and introduction to the two cars, the Tesla Model Y long range and the Tesla Model 3 long range. Honestly, I think they're amazing cars. I think Tesla is worth the hype. It's worth that little bit extra compared to other electric cars, because these guys are the only people who've got it right at the moment, in my opinion. I think this one is the one to get. The Model Y is honestly, I'm predicting it to just go like that. I've heard they've done very well out of it so far. And they've actually managed to get the deliveries of both Model 3s and Model Ys in a pretty good window. They've got sort of 3-4 month or slightly less delivery times on them, which is good compared to a lot of manufacturers at the moment. And this, I think, because it's made in China and Germany, the quality is a lot better. from what I've seen so far. I'll let you know how we get on with it. If you want to see more videos on it, let me know, because we're going to have it for a little while. That one's going back. There'll be more videos on the Lotus and other things going on in the car world, in my car world. So please stay tuned. Let me know what you think of the video, if you like it. If there's anything I can improve on, if there's anything you'd like to know, please comment and let me know. But thanks for watching. I've been CR Classics. Please like, subscribe and all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys soon. CR Classics, out. Hey guys, CR Classics here. Welcome to my driveway. No, I haven't bought another Esprit. This is Mark's Esprit, my good friend, who you may have seen featured in a series of videos I did about his car. Hey guys, CR Classics here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be telling you a bit more about why my car's for sale.